Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I thought I'd show you the base game of Tale of Immortal. Uh, let's jump in. We've got new character creation. If you're just beginning, you'll have only normal unlocked and you'll have to reach foundation level, which is cultivation level 2, I think, to unlock hard and nightmare. And then you have to reach something else to reach chaos. So I'll play normal just for the video. You got your number of NPCs. It doesn't matter too much. So first off, you have what your character looks like, and depending on what your character looks like, it will play a role in your charisma stat, which is how the NPCs will act towards you. So if NPCs don't like you just based on how you look, or if you choose, I think there's some initial destinies that decrease your charisma. So if you have really bad charisma, maybe NPCs don't enjoy you too much. You've got your male and female. You got your name. You've got internal and external traits, which I don't believe play too much of a role, so don't worry about them too much. I'm sure they do something, but not a big deal. So we go into our stats page. You see the character has quite a few different stats. A lot of them are self-explanatory. Luck, I believe, plays a role in random events. Insight plays a role in learning skill books. Reputation, charisma, we already went over. Travel speed is basically how many tiles of the world map you can travel in a day. So the higher the travel speed, the less time you need to re-roll months. You'll see what I mean later. You have your martial skills and your spiritual root skills. So your martial and spiritual root resistance is resistance against these things. Your agility is movement, speed, and combat. And then you have your fighting skills, which don't increase your damage, but they do decrease damage against other NPCs if yours is higher. So like if you have a higher spear skill than a enemy cultivator, then you'll do more damage. Or excuse me, then they'll do less damage. And then it also allows you to learn certain skill books. So some skill books require 25 skill. And then you'll be able to learn that. You also have artisanship skills like crafting, alchemy, forging, and talismans. Are crafting. Talismans are like consumables in combat. Forging for artifacts, which you can use in battle. Alchemy for pills, stuff like that. Mining, feng shui, and herbology are all gathering. So we'll move on to destinies. They give you choose 3 of these, and then they give you whatever the tooltip says. So the only tip I have is your agility isn't easy to raise. I think your movement skill raises your agility a little bit. So agility is sort of important to get at this point. And your luck and insight are, I don't think you can raise them in the regular game. So if you pick skills like that, then you're good. Let's see, wind, fist, good enough. So when you start out, after character creation, it'll pick my highest skill and assign me that skill. I probably will skip the beginner quest line. I don't want to spoil any storyline if people worry about that. So I'll skip the beginning quest line, and I'll probably start exploring the beginning zone, and then I'll jump back in and start explaining things again. Alright, I forgot we had to pick a starting artifact. So these are not a one-time thing, but a one-time choice for your playthrough. So the Eye of Providence will give you the ability to, like, in combat against a mythical beast, the eye will trigger, and you'll see like a oranger part of the health bar, of their health bar, and if you get them below that, then you'll learn a skill from them, and you'll be able to use that skill in combat, just one at a time. So you'll collect skills from mythical beasts. The Jade is like a revival artifact, so you have these there's charges on it, and or these it says points, so the points on the Jade will let you revive, I think 6 times or something, at least in normal, and then you can split it in half and give it to someone else, and it will allow you to teleport to them on the map. And I think, I haven't done it, but I think you can call them into combat. So kind of cool. And then the mythical gourd is the one that I like to choose, because it allows you to vacuum up the spirits of the mythical beasts once you get them down below 20%. And I'm not sure if it's playing by Pokemon rules, but it seems to be more, because it does fail, it seems to be more successful when you get them down lower. So I usually try to trigger at like 5%. So I'll pause here and start back up once I start exploring. Alright, so this is the inventory screen. We did just get a ring that increases our inventory capacity from the tutorial, and some pills to increase our health and energy. So you can drag these over, drag the ring over, easy peasy. Alright, so I have reached the first town out in the open world, and we can go over, every town will have these basic items. So you have the bounty board for quests, and I've got tutorials turned on. You can accept, these quests are always collection quests from monsters. And if you want to know how many you have, you can mouse over it. It says, I have 5 of those. So you can accept it. These 2 sword quests are easier ones to start with. The 3 sword ones might give you some trouble. You might die during these. So I like to start out and get the 2-star ones completed, and they'll recycle every month. So I'll grab one of these. It's essentially kill a monster tile in 8 spaces of this town. Next we have the manual pavilion. You have your manuals that you can purchase, but you have to complete quests to get Mayor's Decrees, and obviously Spirit Stones. So you got to do the quest, have enough money, have enough tokens to buy these. So doing the quest is important. You can also travel to join a sect, and they'll have a shop. You can't sell at that shop, but you could buy items just like the marketplace. So I already visited here and bought these refining pills that we'll need later. They have rings for us if you want. I also bought a mount so that our travel speed's a little bit higher, and it increases your charisma, because who doesn't look cooler on a sword? Um, during the main quest line, we also unlocked, or somebody dropped this item, so we got this. So this is how you do the skill minigame, learning the skill minigame. You left click and you can hold it down. Right click on the reds. Left click the blues. Right click the reds. Pretty simple. And then depending on your insight, which mine's not very high, later on they'll be zooming around quite a bit. They kind of go in one direction, but they do vary in speed a little bit. So that took 15 days, so we got to spin over to the next month before we do any more real actions. And you'll get random NPC interactions at the end of the month. So they'll say, hey, do you want to take this item? Do you want to duel or spar? Mythical beasts will spawn and it'll tell you where. So Six Tails just spawned in the Blazing Lands. I don't know where that is on this map right now, but once you discover the map, it's a little bit easier. And a devious alchemist. So I got your inn for sleeping, takes 5 days. Marketplace, tavern, you can drink, you can ask questions. I think this will open up a quest. And you'll need 20,000 currency, I want to say, if I remember correctly. You can drink alcohol, and it'll give you one of the random buffs. But you can only have one of those buffs. So increase your attack damage, strength, or your agility. I don't know what the other ones do. And workshop is forging artifacts. Can't do it here. Enhancing an artifact. I don't have one. No reason to go over it. Or repairing an artifact. Combining. This is important for getting up to level 2 here in the beginning stage. You can go farm these shards from the different zones and then turn them into a Qi. And then alchemy. You could buy the alchemy here, or you can click it and craft it have them craft it. So you need an alchemy pod, alchemy skill, then you can buy the recipe here and craft your own pills. I'm not there yet, so I can't really go over it in the video. But here's the world map. So you can see we've discovered 3 sects, so I'll probably go take a look at those. I'll go exploring some more, discover some more things that I can explain. Alright, right after I paused, I ran into Stormvale. It's a little 4x4 tile section where these bosses spawn. If you're looking for them, they spawn in this bottom left internal tile. So if you just run down to the bottom, you can see if they're there. Oh, here's the other one. Interesting. So there's 2 out of the 6. Mushroom Man spawned. And earthquakes. So everything's spawning around the cities. Oh, there's Mushroom Man. That means there's a city right here. Oh, it's the actual city. So the city will have a auction house that you could sell Qi Refining and Foundation here, at least. And then in a year and 8 months, they'll come by and start the auction. But essentially NPCs will bid on items, and if you see an item that you want, it's usually red skill items. You can bid on them as well. You can threaten people. So what I like to do in my playthrough is find the city, not the town. It's different. So we have the town we just visited, but the city, there's one city in each section. then I just kind of set up shop. I don't know what this... Oops. I don't know what that glitch is. You know, I started following up with these missions here. Mushroom Man, I'm not going to mess with right away. He's going to be a dangerous boy. So I'll just do this mission real quick. Do I have anything else I need to add? I got this from a random event. And I've decided this was a bad idea, but it is what it is. So here's the combat. It's not like the DLC combat. You actually have to left click, right click, cast your skills. I just realized I forgot to put our dodge move on, but that's okay. See what we can do with a basic skill. It is normal. So it won't be the hardest thing in the world. So normally, I sort of skipped some of the beginner quest line. So I didn't get to purchase a new left click and a right click ability. But that's okay. Probably shouldn't have skipped it, but that's life. Easy enough. So this is what the two sword quest. So it's not too bad. But what I want to do is work up towards... What I don't want to do is fight that guy. Work up towards buying skills here. So they'll have it into different sections. Mind and motion, martial and spiritual, and special. And then it'll do it again, but for T2, foundation. So what I want to do is save up a couple mayor decrees. Fairly certain I completed that quest. How far? Yeah. That should have completed. Grabbed it, didn't I? Yeah, what did it mean? So I'll do a couple side quests by myself, and then we'll continue the walkthrough. Hey, one thing I figured out, since I did skip that part of the quest, essentially it was telling me I'm down here in the bottom section. This is the tutorial area. It tells you if you're not strong enough to complete a part of the quest, it tells you to come buy stuff here. And I thought that would be locked out since I was strong enough to defeat the boss mob. So I was able to come here and buy these without mayor decrees. And I think these will all be... Nope, I was wrong. I was going to say I thought they were all ones that you can use. Interesting. So far they're mostly ones I can use. So you just pick one that you're able to use. Doesn't matter what the skill actually is. Like this is 9 out of 9. It's going to do just as good as any of the other ones, especially in the beginning. So I'll go ahead and learn these and continue on. Alright, so I have gathered some more Qi and hit our first bottleneck. And as you can see here, we need 2 hotkey J. We need a breakthrough to this first breakthrough point. So we click the breakthrough. You purchase a Qi refining pill from a shop in one of the towns or the city. Or from Joe, the random encounter right after you start. By the way, don't do that unless you're in chaos difficulty. Otherwise, it's more expensive from him. So we'll get a little boost in stats. I would recommend, after starting out, to gather Qi and explore the map. And then do your first breakthrough, do your second breakthrough. So after we get up to this point, we can break through again with a Qi refining pill number 2. from the market. And then you do some more Qi refining, and then you hit your breakthrough point to foundation, which is level 2. And you have 3 different options. The easiest option, the quickest option, gives you the smallest amount of stat boosts. You only need 1 of these heaven and earth treasures, found by killing 1 of the 6 mythical beasts. And then you need 1 of these foundation elixirs, which can be crafted, or you could purchase them in your Sect treasure pavilion, which is the shop in your Sect. That'll spawn randomly depending on how well the Sect is doing. And then Earth is 2 of the heaven and earth treasures, so you need to kill 2 of the bosses, and 3 of any type of these Qi orbs. I'm sorry, they are orbs, but these Qi orbs specifically are an item for a different one. So you need 3 of these. And again, you can get them from these specific, these zones. If you fight, once you step on this zone, you'll be attacked by monsters randomly, or the boss will spawn right here on this tile, or on this tile. And if you kill the boss, he'll always drop an orb, and some other stuff, like some manuals and stuff. So what I like to do is get to Qi refining late stage, so hit another breakpoint, and then by that point you're grinding out enough manuals, you've got quests done, you can buy all the manuals you need, and then you could start killing the bosses more regularly. They're way too difficult right now with no skills. So I'll pause here and get some more stuff done, and I'll come back if I have any other tips. Oh yeah, one other beginner tip. Until your late stage Qi refining, which is in this section, and you have some good skills, I would definitely suggest not fighting. Speaking of which, I need to put my skills on. I just did a fight without these skills. It is annoying. Until you get mind skills, which are essentially passive boosts to attack, defense, and all that stuff. Until you get all that in late stage, I wouldn't fight any of these random. This guy here is a random, I wouldn't say boss, but random encounter on the map, just like the mushroom guy earlier in the video. Do not fight them until you're more prepared in the future, because if you die, you're going to lose your artifact. Alright, we reached breakthrough 2. Breakthrough here. Give us some more stats. Definitely helpful. So now it's suggesting we take a look at how to do this. We've already done that. Here's another spot that you can farm out. So every time you step on here, monsters will attack you unprovoked. Very important to note. Let me see if I can demo. I don't think I've discovered. No. So I will be back when there's something else. So I did want to note one thing. I'm at one of the sects that I've discovered. The stat requirements that you see here are essentially what skills and I guess I haven't shown it yet because I haven't ran into it, but there are skill fruits that you find in the game that will raise a stat. So there's like a fist skill fruit that'll raise your fist skill by 1 in this area, and 2 in the next area, and 3 or 4 in the next area. So the treasure pavilion for this sect will have these 4 skill fruits over time. I mean, it restocks based on a bunch of different factors. Like, it's a little in depth to get into, but it'll also have. You can't enter these until you join the sect. But it'll also have these 4 skills. So whatever skills you see there are skills. You should join a sect that you want, that like the skills listed here, that you want to level up, and are the skills that you want to use. Not necessarily just because you have a sect letter or your sect affinity is high enough. This is also important. And one more thing to note: these spiders here. If you have a quest for them, you actually have to kill them to get their loot to drop. I mean, they'll drop their loot regardless, but in order to get their loot, the spiders will run up and explode on you. To get that loot, you have to kill them before they explode. Super important. I was frustrated trying to figure out why I wasn't getting enough of those specific items. And that was my answer. Might as well finish this out. So this is one of the T2 caves. I think I'm strong enough as it is on normal difficulty. Spiders are quite hard to hit. I think I'm strong enough to do the level 3 caves just fine. Yeah, that'll be easy enough. So I'll be grinding out a couple missions to get a couple passive mind skills, and then we can start killing some harder bosses. Alright, I did want to go over this level 3 mission. These ones will have you help somebody in a monster lair, but it does specifically say perform geomancy near the lair to pinpoint its actual location. So it says it's up here, man, right at the tip of the map. We use this geo skill that'll kind of scan the area, and we found where it is, so we can go in. These fights are a little bit more difficult, but on normal, it's nothing you can't handle with your purchased skills. I wouldn't come in here with just your starter left click skill. So we're here to help her complete this mission, I guess. And randomly they'll betray you and steal all the loot, or try to, and you can fight them. A lot of stuff like that happens. Yeah, for the most part, these are pretty simple. Oh, here we go. So this is Fly Mouse. You have probably seen him in my other videos of the DLC playthrough. But I should be able to show you how... Yeah. Should be able to show you how the mythical gourd works. So I'm going to get him down a little bit more. Press E. And he gets sucked into the gourd. And we get all that loot. And a chest drops, and she says, "What? Didn't expect you to defeat it." So she'll give us, or he, sorry. He'll give us these 2 things. And you can attack him if you want. I'd be very careful about killing people on your first playthrough or 2. It is quite a downhill spiral. Because, can I still see this person? No, okay. If I killed this person, which you could do, you can attack them if you want. Or you could steal what she has. Whatever. But if you kill this person, the family will get upset. Their master will get upset. Well, she doesn't have any friends, but her friends will get upset. So these guys are level 3 on this scale. And it's almost exponential in power. So as a level 1, at a late stage, like this is as strong as we can get, minus skills. I could get some skills to make me a little stronger. essentially there's a 0% chance that you would kill somebody in Foundation 1, Foundation 2 early stage. You know, the breakthrough into Foundation 2 makes you so much stronger. So you don't really want to kill anybody unless you have to, I guess, is the way I would put it. Very important. So here's a random event to give us some luck. I think probably the only random event that gives you... It's the only thing that gives you luck in this game, besides your starting stats. Alright, and if you're wondering, I'm at the Manual Pavilion in the city. The city is the larger town, obviously. Some things to note, like max focus, definitely not important. Max health, definitely important. So that's a good thing to note. These skills are going to be quite a bit better than the ones that, like the gray skills that you get in the beginning from the tutorial. So look out for the skills that you have here. You can also check your sect if you join your sect, and I'll do a quick section on that at the end here. So I'm going to grab this health. I wouldn't try to join the sect until you're in late stage, because you do have to duel to get into. Oh yeah, we can look over. So you pull your monster out of the spirit gourd, the mythical gourd. Now we have both of these guys. This one's assigned to me, so he'll be my guard. This one I can assign and send out. I thought when I just started, I thought all of these were grayed out. They're not. You can select them. So they give you different things once he gets back from his adventure. He's only level 1, so he'll come back with some garbage. But you can send him out. He'll come back in a couple months with something. Usually on the far right adventure, he'll come back with something for him, some pills or something. They have like a healing pill, a pill to give EXP, and a pill to promote into T2. Okay, so I just started this mission. You can see on the map on the top that there's this side path. Usually there's a chest or an herb garden or a random event. Sometimes you'll see an NPC laying on the ground. One thing to note when you do see an NPC on the ground is if they have health sort of like I have now, like, you know, 3/4 full, be careful, because it could be a trap. It could just be a trick. You can walk over and press E on them and sort of investigate them, and then you can take off after that. But you'll also have an option to heal them or kill them, I think. Oh, here we go. So just like this. So I can interact. This person's on the brink of death, but clearly this person wasn't. They're a wicked trait. I mean, we could see where this leads, because I'm not too worried about defeating anybody in this playthrough. We can give them... I don't have an elixir. We can exercise the wound. Yeah, this person suddenly attacks you, because he is already pretty much full health. Okay. Wasn't very fair. It is kind of a very immediate thing that happens. Alright, so no more gourd for us. But at this point in the playthrough, I would probably leave the game and rejoin and start this mission over. But it is what it is for this playthrough. So, in that scenario, I would definitely not have interacted with that person. I would have said ignore them or whatever and continued on my mission. Unless they had very low health. Then that's a case where you could. No, the imp is dying. Okay, so your gourd does fix after 1 month. That's kind of cool in the normal difficulty. In the higher difficulties, it is permanently broken, which is kind of a bummer. So there's no need to reload on normal, I guess. But you can see that we did get a different map, even though this is the exact same. This is the exact same monster den that I went into. Alright, we got Fly Mouse again. Oh yeah, it's broken. Forgot. God, I hate these guys that summon dogs. No Fly Mouse. That right click ability is nuts. Just getting these missions done. Once you collect a quest, like let's say I picked up a quest for collecting items. If I already had that item, you can go into submit and submit it from here. Or you can go out and back in and it'll say, hey, do you want to turn this quest in? That's how you do that. Oh yeah, one more thing I haven't touched on is the tree vault. Pretty cool. You can store... I guess I can keep that. You can store items in here. The game is pretty lenient on inventory capacity. As you can see, I haven't touched anything in my inventory after questing. As long as you keep questing and turning in items, it'll keep your inventory pretty empty. The only thing I can say is there's mood items at the bottom. You can see that this mood item my character is not interested in. So this one will boost my mood by 80, and this one will boost it by 20. It's still useful, but if you're running out of inventory space, that's the first thing I would check and throw away. Besides skill books, everything else I tend to I'm pretty much able to keep in my inventory. And there are, so here's a furnace that you can use for alchemy. Very important. You can buy them here or the Sect shop as well. There's some talismans. I haven't gotten into talisman crafting myself. Not sure. I know that's a thing though. But these are shop talismans that'll teleport you places or make it so monsters stay away from you in a later zone. Not too important. You can buy elixirs here if you want, or you can learn in craft them in alchemy. The last thing about the tree vault is it is cross town. So if I put these here, travel to another town, it does cost money to teleport, but there is a teleport portal. Good to know. You can teleport to any of the sects or the towns. Even the sects that you're not part of, except for that one for some reason. Oh, okay, you need a certain affinity towards them. Good to know. So I'm in a different town now. These are both here, so it is worldwide global storage, and from what I've seen, it is unlimited, question mark. Pretty cool. Alright, one more thing I wanted to mention. I'm learning a new skill. To my knowledge, the learning a skill is the only thing that'll decrease your mood, besides maybe getting injured. Where's health? Negative destinies. So that's when you would just play with one of these things. Increase your mood. All good. So I learned some mind skills. We only have 12 skill points because I haven't spent time sparring anybody and nobody's offered to spar with me. So you just slot these in and you get, I mean at this point 45 health, but once I level this up I'll get 11 more and some spirit res. You can upgrade a skill. Usually it's not, in the early game, it's not important, but it'll cost some time. And you can do max cultivation, or if you just want to do one level of it, it'll... Okay, so yeah, there's only 9 days left in this month, I'm sure. Max cultivation would use up whatever days in the month are left, and a couple of these soul stones. And essentially that'll unlock this skill here. So we get 2 health. Then you can go to comprehend. And I wouldn't do it until you unlock. I wouldn't do it on a green. But essentially, once you get comprehension sand, that will re-roll this stat, and it can only, on this one, it can only roll up to a green. So for a, I don't think I have any other skills. For like a purple skill, it'll roll up to purple. You know, it cannot roll up to red, so it'll just keep re-rolling. Once you comprehend something, I mean, there's no reason to do it. Once you comprehend something, you can roll back. You can lock a stat in the comprehend. You can lock in and say, hey, I want to keep this one. And your skill will have like internal points to it that you can lock a certain number of things, and that'll take up points. So you can't just lock all of them, I think. Pretty cool system. But again, you'll get EXP over time, and these beginner ones I'd never ever worry about. Just slot them and use like the base stat is the important part. Alright, we rolled over to year 2. My little monster came back from adventuring, and he got some orbs for himself, and he learned a new skill. So we can take a look. So while they're adventuring, they'll get a skill, adventure skills. So this guy will find spear manuals. Super not helpful. You can also rename them if you want, if you have certain ones that you find that you like. So again, we can choose where we want to send them and send them out. You can see the adventure log of what happened, what he did. But I did want to go over this specific random event that will happen while you're just wandering around on this T1 zone. You run into a little girl in these frozen tundra. Whoops. You have an option of giving her rice wine, giving her fire cultivation, fire manuals, or just say, why not just return to the northern Arctics? And the first one costs 1,000 from a town. You have to go to a town, go to the pub or whatever it's called, buy it for 1,000. The second one takes 3 fire manuals. Not the easiest to get, but you have unlimited time. She'll stay here forever. The third one will give you the same results. This, I can't remember. I did the fire one once. I can't remember the result it gives you, but these two I think give you the same result. They boost some stats. So she gets all grumpy faced, and where's my fire? My imp's still dying. Essentially, you have to survive her battle. Like, you can't fight her. I mean, you can, but you just have to survive this for 20 seconds. So it's much easier, much faster, much cheaper to just sit here. Maybe break pots. Oh, side note, breaking the pots and things in the map are a really good way of getting those mood boosting items. So there you go. That's the best one that I found. So look at that, free $40. So then her weird god dad, she says she's bored. So you get a boost in some of the spiritual stats. Okay, while I was traveling, I ran into somebody during the next month rollover thing. They'll randomly want to talk to you and say, hey, how about my sect? Isn't it really cool? And you say, yeah, and then your mood boosts with them. They also offer to spar with you. So if you spar, you don't necessarily have to win, but if you win or lose, I mean, if you do the spar at all, you'll get you'll get knowledge points that you can spend and get skill points. So sparring, and I don't know, I can't remember if dual cultivating helps with that, but I'll show you the so yeah, we got 83, so we can get 1 skill point. So this guy, righteous ones fight demons and exterminate evil. We keep the peace and strive for justice. Yep, I totally agree, brother. Okay, this guy wants to spar too. Let's do that real quick. Alright, some more knowledge points. Anyone else? Sometimes you'll run into just time after time after time. When you roll over a month, they'll just talk to you for hours. So 2 skill points. These ones only cost 4. They get more expensive in skill points. Well, they get more expensive in everything. To learn them, to buy them, as you go up in tiers. Not tiers, but like rarity. So the blue one will cost more skill points. It'll cost more everything. So that's knowledge for you. Okay, I just had a random event. Just wanted to show you that this is one of the finger fruits. So this is one of the martial arts fruits. So I eat this fruit, my finger skill will go from 10 to 11. There you go. Also, I want to show you that these, I can't remember if I showed in this video. I always activate these. Doesn't cost you anything. Just gives you a nice vision of the map. This is another one of those zones where you get the Qi orbs. And the random boss again spawns in the bottom left. Still haven't seen one that I can show you guys on video. But they spawn. You can see the logs here of things spawning. I just haven't gone to visit. So I just lost a duel to somebody higher than me. It does look like you get maybe less knowledge points. It's good to know. You still get knowledge points though, regardless. And you'll get more knowledge points the higher level you are as you spawn, as you spar. Okay, here's the wood area, I think. I'm trying to find one, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to find one sect, and I cannot find it for the life of me. And look at that, our little minion came back and he got some fruit for us. Pretty nifty. That's why I like the gourd. You can stack up your minions, and as you fill them up, you'll get a ton of them later on. This will fill up pretty quickly. You'll fight mythical beasts all the time once you get to a certain point. And you can see here that you'll have more teams unlocked, and you'll unlock, it doesn't show you, but these unlock sort of at the same pace as the full team. So you'll be able to kit these guys out, you know, like, oh, I don't want spear manuals, let me just dump this guy. So you can set him free, get him out of here. We don't want this cute little bird. They are adorable. I like them. This guy's injured, and there is one more fruit that this lazy bird hasn't found yet that will heal him, but he hasn't found it yet, so not much we can do. One other thing I do want to note is there's really, to my knowledge, not much purpose in running these random dungeons that you find on the map. It's not like you get EXP like a regular RPG or something. Only do it if you have a mission. Oh god, more sparring. And so just do the missions in the towns. See, this guy's way higher level than me, but that's alright. Just free knowledge. Do the missions in the towns. Do the missions for your sect, and call it a day. You don't need to do the side dungeons throughout the map. Okay, I found the sect that I was looking for. You can see the major difference here. This is a much larger sect. It's a branch of a sect. This one is not. It's sort of like a beginner sect. They only have one skill. But I think you always have one affinity with it, and you'll be able to apply it anytime. So I'll go ahead and apply to this. The cool thing about this sect is you can actually raise through the ranks and get to, well, I can't show you right now, but you can get to be the sect leader of this beginner sect, which is pretty neat. So I'll fast forward and we'll get to the sect promotion. Alright, the Sect Arena has started. So we go into town. Do you want to start the Sect tryouts? I think you start at full health, so sure. So here's a list. All these people are trying out, so it's a one-on-one duel. So we're going to do her. It shouldn't matter necessarily. Essentially, you need to get 4th place or higher. And it should be relatively easy as long as you get to late stage Qi refining. So 1 down. I'll fast forward because this next part takes a little bit where it kind of automates it. Alright, all the winners are chosen. So we move on to the next round. All the winners are here. So essentially all you need to do is win that first round, win this second round, and then you'll be top 4 and you'll be promoted into the Sect. So easy enough with this. If you wanted a tip, that right click sword ability is nuts. It'll pretty much one-shot everything in normal difficulty, I guess. So I'll just fast forward, finish off the Sect duel. Alright, last fight. Whoa. Dangerous. So that'll put us in first place. You do get different, well, I'm not going to call it a reward, but you do get a different Sect currency amount based on what place you get. So I think I get 100 tokens. She goes over the Sect rules. We get 100 contribution tokens. This guy offers to be essentially our friend. So we'll bond with them. That's fine. He'll give us, I think I already, so he'll give us a foundation stage flying sword. That's pretty cool. So he's our quote-unquote brother now. Same thing, we could, at this point it might be a little tricky. I like to, well, I guess on the higher difficulties, I like to at least get my mind skills set up and stacked up a little bit before I try to promote through these stages. Also, you need, I mean, in this case, I need to get my fist skill higher before I can go to True Disciple. But I can explain some of these Sect things. So you have a Sect leader, Grand Elder, Elders, True Disciples, and Disciples. And you got your mission hall where you get your missions. Once you become, I want to say Elder, there'll be a section over here that you can move personnel, move people around and tell them to do things, and you'll get, kind of hard to explain. They'll do fake missions and get things for the Sect, like Sect prestige or something. So you can kind of form how the Sect behaves and gathers these bonuses for the Sect. So here's the store. She gives you some beginner stuff kind of as a tutorial. So like I said, the Sect that you join, this one only did fist skills. So I mean, that is a downer for me, but it is a huge bonus to become, essentially it's easy mode, I would say, to become a Sect leader, because everything in here, and this is just beginning to fill up. Once you're a Sect leader, you can form it to fill up every single month, and the higher your prestige, the better items you'll get. Since we're just starting off here, you get 20% off. Pretty cool. But as a leader, you get everything here for free. You can just nab up all the skill manuals you want. But being part of a Sect is important because, well, being a part of the the right sect is important because they'll have the skill books that you need down here or anywhere. Obviously, the skill books have different looks. Like this basic skill book is a mind skill book. This is a movement. The one that looks like a page is a movement skill. The one that looks like a binder is your left click. The one that looks like a scroll is your right click. And the one that looks like an unrolled scroll is your ultimate ability. I think that's pretty much everything in here. You can cultivate here and get Qi or EXP. When you do your breakthrough, if you do your breakthrough into foundation tier, so once I get my Qi filled up, we'll hit the break point again. We can't get any more EXP. And then once I gather whatever items I want and choose which foundation I want to break into, if you do it here, this will always, whatever your spirit pavilion's art is here, you'll always get that as a selection. Once you do a breakthrough, you'll have a selection of, I want to say 9 different things, sort of similar to my other videos in the DLC, kind of like that. So if you like the way that your sect's skill looks, you can do your breakthrough in the sect, I think for free, once you read through breakthrough. And this will always show up. So that could be like a fallback. Like, all right, if everything else sucks, at least I know I'll have this one. I guess I can go over the map real quick. Very helpful. You can show and hide everything. But I wanted to show you guys this specifically, the Land of the Arcane and the Land of the Spirits. They're both very similar. So if you go up to the Land of the Arcane or Land of the Spirits, like I don't want to do this one right now because that's for T2, I want to say. But so which one is this? I always forget. So Land of the Arcane is not important for me right now. But Land of the Spirits is exactly the same. It looks like a big iceberg or whatever you want to say this is. And it'll cost you 500 spirit stones. And I want to say that I haven't discovered the whole map. So I think there's 2 or 3 more of these Land of the Spirits down here somewhere. And there's 1 more Land of the Arcane somewhere. So these specifically are how you get these, so these guys here. So I think there's 2 more. So Land of the Spirit. And then the little mini bosses that spawn in these areas drop those basic purple ones randomly, rarely. Maybe not rarely, but randomly. So I figured I'd point that out. So this is what you're looking for when you're breaching into going into Foundation. Once you're ready to step into level 2 and you're strong enough to fight these guys and wherever it is, any of these guys. Once you're strong enough to do those guys and this guy, then go for it. Alright, real quick, here's the Gordamp item that you need to res. So he just came back from his quest. This guy is dying, so I will feed him this and I can use him again. Perfect timing because I'm probably in the video completing one of those spirit caves, whatever they were called. Alright, real quick. This guy did spawn. So like I said, bottom left of that zone. I might heal up for this battle. I'm pretty sure it's going to be simple enough. So any of these mythical beasts, oh yeah, way easy enough. So I wouldn't worry about it too much on normal. They're not going to do too much to you on normal. On the higher difficulties, their skills get more complex. So we get a fire chi and that purple foundation 2 requirement item. And a book to upgrade one of your skills. And some stuff. So I'm going to run over, go find a... So I'm going to run over to this Land of the Spirits real quick, and I'll meet you back. Alright, here we are. 500 Spirit Stones to unlock. We'll go in, and I think you could do... Okay, so I'll probably pause in the middle of this, but you can do this same exact one multiple times. I don't think you need to, because I think there's enough on the map to get the... I think it's... You require three of these items. So you could do it again after 6 months, I want to say. So while you're doing other things and leveling up, or, you know, getting skill books and stuff, you can come back to these and do them again if you need to for whatever reason. Alright, here we are at the end. Yep, easy enough with basic skills. I still only have essentially the one health mind stone, or mind skill. So we'll try to vacuum him. We got it. And he should drop this guy. That's what we needed. So essentially you need to do that. I mean, I can't even remember. It's so complex. But I want to say one more time, since we already found the other one. But you can hunt for these specific ones, whichever one. They all have different stats that get applied to your... whatever level you're doing. So you need one more of these, but you do have to hunt a lot of... this is the lengthiest part, getting all the lightning cheese. Definitely the hardest. So I'll probably finish up the video here. One other thing I want to mention is there's a pretty big modding community. A lot of it's not in English, but it does function just fine. If you just do a translate on it, try to comprehend what the mod is trying to do. There's a lot of mods that are pretty cheaty to make the difficulty lower. Well, make you stronger. But there's some that save on the grind. And there's a lot that that change the way that the game reads. Like the Sect menu here, there's a mod that changes the way that this reads, because it is important when you're a Sect leader to balance out how many spirit stones you're getting, how many spirit stones you're spending, all this stuff. So this reads like garbage. It's quite difficult to read, but there's a mod that fixes this up. Stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, pretty big scene there. I guess one final tip real quick would be, especially on normal, if you can find a grade 2 monster right now, or if you do find yourself able to capture a grade 2, and I mean, you might not know it off the bat, but if you're fighting something way harder than these normal ones, try to capture it with this mythical gourd, because he'll be a magnitude better than these guys as a protector. So we'll call it here on this video. It's long enough. Thanks for watching, guys, and please let me know what else you would like to know about for this game, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks, and take it easy.